Tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, it should be good.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Those Two Geeks. He's Alex. I'm Joe. I'm mobile today, so it's Joe on the go, part whatever. And we're just reconnecting without our third co-host. But we got some stuff to talk about. Still wrestling related.
Yeah, so we, like all of us, like everyone, I'm sure, who is somewhat familiar with the world of wrestling.
Let me do it.
Go on.
Okay, so my open was going to be, it's cold here in New England. I'm sure it's cold as hell in Canada, but it is a very, very frosty day in hell where WWE is concerned. And the reason for that being, I don't like to say I told you so.
Oh, go on. All right. You've got 2 minutes. You got a minute to say you told me so, and you can.
But I bloody told you so. And everyone's like, no, it's not going to happen. It's the one thing that won't happen. And I was like, listen, Triple H is a different animal than Vince McMahon. And I said, there's just no way in my gut that they're going to let Survivor Series go by in Chicago with that opportunity. And not one here. Yes, I think they want CM Punk. I do, because he's still a draw, as Monday Night proved. 2, I really think they couldn't resist the ability to stick it to Tony Khan like hard. That's what I think the driving force.
So obviously, I didn't expect it to happen.
No,
I was in the I thought there was more chance the Maple Leafs were going to win the Stanley Cup in the next few years, and CM Punk was going to come back.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to buy a lottery ticket at this point. That said,
oh, absolutely.
You know, that said, like, obviously you didn't expect it to happen. I think I'm on very emphatic record saying I wasn't thinking it was going to happen.
Yeah, both you and Matthew.
Yeah. Because again, like, it was man who lives in city or man who's in city he lives in just happened to be seen out and about, like.
Right. That didn't really like strike me. And then I didn't pay attention to any of that stuff that day. Ironically, I didn't. So I'm like,
yeah. So the days leading up to it, I kept seeing people, and of course, this is just one subset of the community that I just happened to see on my feed. People like, "Holy, CM Punk's in Chicago! CM Punk's in Chicago!" I'm like, of course, he's in fucking Chicago.
I know. And they were like hashtag he's back, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So that, I think I was getting my feeling from that, where it's like, there is no way.
Yeah.
There's no way you can take this to mean he's back. And,
but I guess we missed one that day where it was taken right outside, like at a coffee place right next to the arena. And this kid just couldn't hold his shit and said he's back.
I think too, and I mean, props to everyone involved in keeping this a secret in today's day and age.
Yeah.
I really need to give props to that. I think for me, because it's like, he's in Chicago, of course he's in Chicago, and I was expecting, I was expecting to be, like, if I was going to watch that show, and I did eventually, I think I watched it after.
You did, yeah.
I knew he was back. And I didn't even see a specific, hey, CM Punk's back. It was, all it was a tweet from Ryback saying that if Punk's coming back, I'm going to retire. And the comment under is, well, that aged well. And
oh God,
it wasn't even, it wasn't even that. It was, well, here's hoping. I'm like, wait, does that mean he's back, or does that mean that you're, you know, I wasn't sure which way to interpret that. So I had no idea it was going to happen, but I was still able to watch it without actually knowing, you know.
I was so excited. It killed me. Matthew and I were chatting back and forth, and then all of a sudden, before the main event, he goes completely dry. And I was like, I don't want to spoil it in the chat in case like something came up and he missed it. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, let me be excited about this. And I didn't want to spoil it for you. And it was like a day of silence. I was so angry. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, this is the biggest thing in the world. This is my Christmas present.
As soon as I saw it, as soon as I saw the thing, that's when I sent. What did I send? I can't remember what it was.
I forget what you.
I'll have a look because I know we haven't been that active in the group since.
Yeah, you were very English dry. You were like, well, you know what I mean? It wasn't what I expected. Hold on one second. I apologize, listeners. I have to get my Dunkin' because we run on Dunkin' here. So, apologize.
How may I help you?
Yeah, can I get a medium cookie butter cold brew, iced? And can I also get a sausage and cheese breakfast sandwich? Actually, 2 sausage and cheese breakfast sandwich, no egg. And 1 croissant is fine. And then 1 stuffed mini bagel, plain.
So both of the sandwiches are no egg on
Correct. Correct.
Okay, and then what kind of bagel was it?
Just a stuffed mini bagel. Just one order.
Mini bagels, everything are plain.
Plain.
Okay.
And that's it.
Already 1537 at the window.
All right. Ouch! Did you hear that total?
Yeah, that's nuts. So it's funny. You ordered your drink, and I'm totally leaving this in.
Okay, that's fine.
When you order your drink, I'm like, man, people that drink coffee, it never if you drink more than just a plain coffee, it's it always tends to be, I'll get this and I'll get this, add that, get this.
Yeah.
I just heard your order, couldn't remember what it is. A cold brew cookie butter thing, maybe. I'm not sure.
It was. So I don't like. Fun fact: I don't like coffee. I'm not a coffee unless it's iced and I'm very tired and it's been a week. I will do it on Saturday or if I'm just dead to the world and I pick me up because I never finish my coffees. My Christina makes fun of me all the time. She's like, you take 5 sips and then you're running for 10 hours. Caffeine works on me different than it works on anybody on the earth. It's very strange.
So when we go through, it's Tim Hortons here. So when we go through Tim's, I'll get the biggest size tea possible, and I'm still finished of that way before. My wife always gets a nice cap. She also doesn't like coffee. Will only drink an iced cap. Iced cappuccino is the only thing she tends to drink.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing. She's like, I don't like coffee. I don't like iced coffee. So whenever we do go down to the States, she can't really find something similar enough that she tends to drink it. So she drinks Pepsi, Coke, whatever.
Yeah, but, exactly.
So she also, like you, will only drink it cold. It's more like a slushy at that point, really.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate hot coffee. I love hot tea. I don't even know if they do cold tea. I probably would. Oh my God. I did not say that.
No, you did. But the difference is they do iced tea, right? But you're thinking more do they do brewed
iced there we go.
Freshly brewed iced tea. Despite it sounding completely stupid, I knew exactly what you meant.
I sounded like a moron. I'm like, they've never done this thing called iced tea. What an idiot. But yeah, so this is riveting. But back to the CM Punk stuff, and I'm so glad to be talking.
Yeah, so I think my reaction was we were talking about food in the group chat, and then it went quiet.
Oh yeah, we were.
And then I had replied with because we were talking about a full English breakfast and how that you basically need to budget in recovery time when you eat a full English breakfast.
Right.
So Matthew said something. I replied with a Kurt Angle, "It's true" meme, and then about 3 hours later, I figured by this point, by Monday, if you all hadn't seen it, then a random CM Punk meme of just the eyes going up wasn't going to be the end of the world. And then at that point, it went off. So I think it's interesting. Like Matthew had said, and I agree with him. I feel that while bringing him back in Chicago is the right call, in terms of it's the easiest way to disguise him being there.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there was I almost wouldn't have had Randy Orton come back. And
it was overshadowed.
Yeah, like I feel like Randy Orton coming back was way overshadowed. Like I think if you were gonna have someone show up, now obviously there's the tension between Rollins and Punk, and
oh my, yeah,
in real life, and they're obviously working with that.
He's working now. I think because
but what I would have done would have been to have, instead of Randy Orton's music hit, have Punk run in at that point.
Yeah.
And, don't have him do too much. And you could even have him actively cost them the match. So the Judgment Day would have walked out winners. And then you have the focal point of that. Like, at that point, the Judgment Day are the secondary character to the story of CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And
I just think the place would have beyond erupted if he actually was the fifth man and replaced Randy.
Agreed. Especially if, like, you would obviously have to tell Seth. And, so they can...
They did. And that's the thing that people are like, oh, he was so taken by surprise. No. He's a good worker, because the official word was, this is the real official word, supposedly. Everyone that was not high up authority, they had to tell the main eventers that he was coming, just so they wasn't like an on-air mutiny. So they told them 10 minutes before the main event, go out there, be professional, stuff your shit, and we'll talk about it later, but he's coming. I'm going to watch it back, because I saw no signs of Seth, like, upset or thinking, like, showing any type of, like, anything out of the ordinary. So,
no, there's clips on YouTube after the show of him being furious, but if you look at the size of Seth Rollins, and then look at the size of the people that are holding him back.
Right.
If he really wanted to go at CM Punk, he would have done so. However, I mean, he may not be happy he's back, but I think that
he's definitely not. Like,
Seth Rollins is again, don't know the guy. All I know is what I've seen in YouTube videos, etc. That said, he's a consummate professional. He leans into the gimmick. He's not an MJF level. There's no such thing as shoot. Everything is kayfabe.
Yeah.
But he will lean into kayfabe significantly in interviews. And I think that's exactly what he was doing there, is leaning into kayfabe. Like, if Triple H had said, hey, he's coming back, don't do anything. But if you want to, be angry that he's coming back, just be subtle about, or don't even be subtle about it, but like, be angry he's coming back, but don't go after him.
You want to get some real life steam out? Fine.
Yeah.
You can, within reason, and don't go out and bury him. Because I do think it's very telling that they didn't have Seth Rollins or CM Punk or Randy Orton or anyone in that main event besides Cody on the scrum afterwards. They were like, let's put Cody up there. Let's leave everybody else off. Because the only thing of note that I noticed was Drew was wicked pissed walking off. And people were like, oh, he's mad CM Punk is back. But apparently it's a secondary issue. And like you said, he might be taking time off with his family and whatnot. But
I had heard, again, like I put as much faith in the dirt sheets as I do anything, like I don't put a lot of faith in dirt sheets anyway in the rumor mill. I never have. So I find that, are they right sometimes? Absolutely. But a broken analog clock is right twice a day. Right?
Yeah, so, like, rumor is now, I don't know if you heard it, because you're big AEW, that supposedly Sheamus is going to AEW.
So again, like, I would love that. Sheamus is fantastic. I love the energy he has, and every so often I'll watch
WWE right now. So I would
like, but at the same time, like they're saying, I've heard rumors of, so and so's coming, so and so's coming, so and so's coming. It's why I think when you do get someone like Adam Copeland show up, people are still surprised, because you've had so many rumors where Drew McIntyre's leaving, Sheamus is leaving. If Gunther drops the belt, then he might be leaving. You know what I mean? Like you had so many things like that I literally made up the Gunther thing, folks.
But a lot of people are talking about that. Some things. Right. So I think it's very important, and this is obviously turned into a wrestling podcast today, but it's gonna have a little bit of Marvel Legends at the end. But
I actually want to talk about video games too at some point.
Oh, I would love to do that too. Yeah. So basically, I think Tony Khan's got to step his game up huge now. And remember, what did I tell you guys on the podcast with Matthew? I said I wouldn't be surprised if it's both Randy and CM Punk return. And Matthew goes, "It's not amateur hour, Joe. This is the WWE. They're not going to do 2 returns in one night. This isn't Full Gear." What happened? It's wrestling is very much a game of anything you can do, I can do better than you.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like AEW swiped Will Ospreay before his contract had ended. Do you really think that New Japan would have allowed that to happen with WWE? Like
no.
New Japan has a good relationship with Tony Khan and AEW, and you can see that purely because of the Triple Crown tournament that's going on right now. Thoughts on that is, while I think the nature of the belt is, I'm not a fan of the nature of the belt. I absolutely love the matches that are coming out of it. Like I haven't seen a bad one yet.
I agree. I just hate the concept of 3 belts in one and then calling you a Triple Crown when the belt just started. It's like it's weird, and I also don't like. No offense, I don't like Sad Panda Eddie Kingston. It does nothing for me. I fucking don't like it.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that everything coming from that with Eddie Kingston is fantastic. I think that him losing to Brody King is the best part of this so far. Is that it elevates Brody, because Eddie is like he's seen as a legit threat, right? So it gives Brody an upset victory despite Brody's size. It's gonna push Eddie Kingston into going against Daniel Bryan. I think Eddie's gonna go 0 for 2. And then he's going to win the rest of the next 4.
I think it's tailor made for it because he put the chips in.
Yeah,
and because they're leading heavy, he's going to win it.
Oh, I expect he is going to come out the champion. I think he's going to be the underdog. Like I think he's going to barely squeak past into the semis, because they're doing. I think the top 2 from each group is going through. So I assume the winner of one group versus the runner up of the other one. So it's going to be Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley in the first round.
Yeah, and thank you for explaining the rules, because I was so lost. I was like, why is he eliminated but not eliminated?
So for me, like being a I guess like I was gonna say, well, being a football fan growing up, like this kind of tournament is so common in the UK. Like you have like group stages. It's not like the NHL or North American sports where you have playoffs.
Yeah.
Right, like it kind of is. It's like the entire season of the NHL leads into the who's getting into the playoffs. So it's like you've got to get out of your group, but it's easier to get out of the group in terms of we'll just be finishing in the top 3, top 4, then you're out. Whereas in a like World Cup qualifying right now, or so Euro 2024 qualifying right now, you have like 8-ish groups. I think I can't really remember. The top 2 are qualifying, but everyone plays each other twice, home and away.
Yeah.
And the highest number of points go through. So then what will happen? It just from that qualifying, then they get resorted into other groups. They all play each other once.
Yeah.
Then the top 2 teams again will go into the quarterfinals or round of 8, or quarterfinal, semis, and finally work their way down to the final. So it's a very common thing for the sports I grew up watching. So when I saw what the layout of like this is this league and that league, I'm like, okay, well that makes sense, but I understand how it can be confusing if you're not used to that kind of sporting layout.
Yeah. So I have my thoughts. I can't wait to see what the belt looks like. I'm a belt mark. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'm hoping it's beautiful.
I fully expect if they're going to merge the 3 belts,
I want it to be their second most important belt.
I agreed. I also want them to get rid of the Ring of Honor and NJPW Strong World, so they're just carrying one. instead of you come down with 3. But like nothing drives me more insane. Now I'm happier now that Roman Reigns just has the 1 belt.
Yeah, I agree. The 2 belts was
it was, you know, like I feel that if you're gonna have the Judgment Day be tag team champions, they've got both belts. They almost need to have 1 belt to walk in with, unless they're just defending one or the other.
Yeah. The other thing I hate is I love Roman Reigns. We all know that. But I hate the concept of the name of the belt currently, because since Seth now has a world title that is in existence, which I adore the belt, it's beautiful. I hate the way that they named it the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship. First of all, it's a mouthful. Second of all, it's not undisputed. The fact that Seth has a belt, it's very much disputed.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so
dumb.
I've always thought the Universal Champion, the name was so dumb.
It is. It's like the Intergalactic Champion.
Yeah, like you're better off having it as the WWE SmackDown, you know, rename the World Heavyweight to SmackDown or Raw, and then rename the other one to the SmackDown. So you only have... Did your window just go down?
Hold on. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
There we go.
So you only have, like, you have a belt per thing, like you do with the women's in the tag team.
Yeah.
Like trying to give, here's the world, and this is the universal. Like, no, it doesn't need to be that way. You can.
No, it's very weird.
Better. Yeah. That said, you're right. I think that whatever the Triple Crown is going to be, whatever it's going to be finally named in the end, I think that's going to be the second biggest
Isn't
belt.
it going to be called the Continental Championship?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Like an Intercontinental Championship?
Yeah, like but I like the fact that they're going to redo this league every year.
Yeah, so do I.
I think that's a really interesting way to do it, because that way...
Yeah, it's like the Dynamite Diamond Ring.
Yeah, like if...
But people will win it.
Oh, yeah, agreed. I think it's hilarious that Max only has to defend it in 1 match.
Yeah, and it's also been on him 5 years. It's just a problem now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I know you want to get to video games. I could talk to you all day. I'm obviously excited, but you know, we could talk for as long as you want. But speaking of Max, I watched his. Did you watch Dynamite? Because I know you watch it a lot.
Yeah, I actually just watched it this morning. That's why I was running late to add on.
Loved his promo on Dynamite about putting over Samoa Joe. Yep. I thought it was something that was so overdue, because people do often forget that Samoa Joe has been a game changer. He has been in words since 2001, 2002, 2003 Indies. He was the darling before CM Punk and Bryan Danielson ever were the darling. This guy was having 5-star classics with Kurt Angle. That's when I watched TNA. When Max was talking about, I got this poster in the mail called TNA Wrestling, and I said, "What is that?" And he said, and it opened my eyes to a world of characters in wrestling I'd never seen before. I loved how he gave that shine, but also I like how he referred to him as the final boss. And he's like, it's not can MJF, it's can Max Friedman survive the final boss one more time? Because make no mistake, I barely survived. I think he put Samoa Joe on a total different level of all his challengers, that it's what they should have done for Jay White, but they didn't do. They let him look like a schmuck. And I just think it's just so good that I will not be mad whatsoever if Samoa Joe takes it at World's End and gives Max honest break.
I actually think that because it's in, and I'm sure we'll get into this, but
Long Island.
Yeah, sorry. So because it's in Long Island, and I know we'll get into this with Matthew, I'm sure, but because it's in Long Island, I actually think that you're gonna see MJF lose. Like I don't think he's gonna take the belt. I think Samoa Joe is gonna win it cleanly.
Wow.
Because they're building Max up. Like he's got a legitimately injured shoulder.
And a popped hip.
Yeah, he's got a popped hip. He's got, I think, a kayfabe knee injury. Like his entire left side is fucked, and he barely survived Samoa Joe the first time. Like
exactly.
You put Samoa Joe over like that, right?
Yep.
Like MJF is gonna. He said flat out, I don't like him. I respect him, but I don't like him. Like this is gonna
in real life he adores him.
Oh, who wouldn't adore Samoa Joe?
And that's what I love. We're getting Max the fan blended in with Max the character.
Agreed.
And it's thoroughly enjoyable. Like this is something that AEW is lacking on all of their other stars, I feel, is that this rich character development. And I have my theory now, by the way, too, on who the Devils are. I think it's Adam Cole and the Kingdom.
I'm beginning to think that too.
Because there's how many of them? Like 4 or 5?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think so.
I think Wardlow is one of them. Like
really?
Just in terms of like in the sheer side, like when they're masked doing their thing. Yeah, I definitely think Wardlow is one of them. I
heard an interesting theory. I hope it's not true because I freaking hate Jungle Boy at this point. I'm sour grapes with him still. But
okay, so
I heard that
I think it's interesting that you don't like Jungle Boy when Jungle Boy is indirectly or arguably directly responsible for
he's completely responsible. I'm J. Jonah Jameson when it comes to Jungle Boy.
Yeah,
he's a menace. He's a menace. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't think they would put Jungle Boy back like that. I don't think they would kick him off.
No, but imagine if it's all the ghosts of Max's past.
Oh.
Every one of them.
See,
you got Darby, got Jungle Boy.
I don't think it would be Darby. I think Darby is too pure and he's already involved with Sting, retiring Sting. I wonder, to your point, however, if it's the other two pillars and Adam Cole isn't actually injured, like he's been he's been hobbling around. He's got a boot on.
Yeah.
So I wonder, like, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if Adam Cole has had MJF defending the tag belts by himself? Like I don't see MJF putting the ROH tag belts up at World's End again. I think they've done that enough. Unless it's going to be Samoa Joe will step in.
Yep.
Because Joe won't like in storyline, Joe wouldn't let MJF defend him because he wants him healthy, so that when
he wants him healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, Drew, like I want to face the best version of you, so I know that when I win, I've beaten the best version of you, and I'm never gonna question was I lucky because you were too injured. So
yeah, both great character development points. Drew and Samoa Joe. Like I love it. Yeah. Only thing I disagree with is Samoa Joe throwing down the TV title. I think that just diminished the TV title, and it's very strange.
I think it did, but I also think that if Joe had have lost to Keith Lee at the same time, I don't think there was a good way to get Joe away
out of that belt.
I think the time to do the Keith Lee thing would have been earlier, or you could have had someone like you could have had the Devil cost Joe the belt.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. I think that's the only way you could have had Joe lose. Like there was no way he could have lost that clean, and I think him walking away from it was arguably the better choice. But at the same time, I think they need to move away from defending ROH stuff.
Oh, they do. They do.
On AEW. So.
Yeah. So how funny would it be? Two last AEW points, and then we will switch to video games to do what you want.
That won't be long talk.
How funny would it be if for the reveal of the Devils, when they come out, all of a sudden one of them has a black neck brace that they put around their neck. And then that's how you get the reveal. And 2, have you been seeing this thing going on about how sad it is? Like, I'm actually saddened for Ric Flair. Like, how he feels about, like, the judgment and everything. Guys, come on. Joe, go. Thank you. I was just giving money to the homeless. I apologize.
No.
Yeah. So I am genuinely saddened that Ric Flair feels that he's been harassed and made fun of enough that he has to come out and put out a weird-ass tweet and post like he did with Tony Khan, apologizing and saying he just wants to be there for his friend. And,
I think, like, for me, I think that if Ric Flair got in the ring to wrestle a match, that would justifiably, for me, like, I don't need to see a 74-year-old man.
I don't either.
Put himself through that.
No.
As much as he might want to and think he's capable, and I admire the thought behind it, yes. I think right now his role is being, I'm there for Sting. He's one of my best friends. I want to go out with him. We'll retire. We'll, leave the business together. I think that, you know what, let him do what he's doing. It clearly means a lot to Sting. It means a lot to Flair. From what I understand, his contract is basically, it's not costing AEW anything because they're promoting his drinks.
The Woo Energy. Oh, wait a minute. So he's not getting paid by AEW?
No, he's doing it for advertising.
Oh, shit. Well, then why wouldn't you take Ric Flair? I mean, good God, that's
right.
That's no-brainer.
That's what I understand. I admit that I could be wrong, or he could be making essentially peanuts, but he's doing it, like, he's literally doing it for all the right reasons, in my opinion. He's
and
there
stupid
for his
me
friend.
Is buying that drink.
But that's exactly what they want you to do, right? Like, you're there to, hey, is it? I mean, is it any good?
I haven't got it yet. I went online and saw it, and I'm like, I guess I'm getting a case of this shit. Like, why am I so weak? It's got Ric Flair's face on it, and I'm like, I must have it. And it's one of those things where I'm like, if it was going to be around for years and years, I'd be like, I don't need this. I'll just pick it up at the store one day. Yeah. But I know it's going to be very much a limited thing. It might be around maybe a year or whatever. And I'm like, I'm just going to have one that's not drank. And it looks like a cool, like, design. It's psychedelic. I'm like, whatever. How appropriate that it's mushroom infused. I'm like, I don't even know if that tastes good, but I'm just buying.
You know what? I had, you can get these little granola snack things.
Yeah.
And I was reading the ingredients. I'm like, mushroom infused. Couldn't taste it. It tasted like banana and chocolate is what what was the primary flavors. But it had like shiitake oils in it and stuff. So I was like, well, I mean.
But to the point, I just think it's so sad. No, I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, I was laughing at the tangent.
I just don't think people this day and age, listen, for some reason, it's not just cancel culture. It's like human culture now. People love to shit on anything that somebody else is proud of. Period.
Yeah.
Now, I will say this. We do need to veer away from this self-indulging, check behavior that we need to have validation for every move we make every day to feel important. I think that's on people themselves. If that's your self-esteem, I mean, don't bang on the person, but, I don't need to know that, you had a tuna sandwich today and it was delicious. Like, I think it's something that, like, social media was meant for one thing and it's being used for something else. But in the case of Ric Flair, the guy's a Hall of Famer. He's 74 years old. He looks like he's 92, which scares me. And that's because of how hard his life is.
I also think his the color of his hair is only a little bit whiter.
Yeah.
Right, than it was, but that doesn't help him look older. Whereas Sting's hair is still dark, whether it's natural or not. I don't know.
He just looks,
but
so old.
In fairness, Sting also has. I don't think I've seen Sting without face paint on in so long that I don't know how old he looks. So that gives him a timeless look as well.
He doesn't look that old. Well, I'm talking 8 years ago. I met him backstage, and he had his face paint off completely, and he has a pretty young face. But he's also a little younger than Flair. But like.
Yeah, he's not 70 yet, is he?
No, he's like 66, 65. But some wrestlers just age the way they age. And Ric Flair, listen, he's had a rowdy life. He still does. The guy was sober for about a cup of coffee when he got out of his heart surgery and everything. And now he's still very much parties and whatever. And that's probably how you're going to see him go out, unfortunately. But the man isn't not just an icon. He is undoubtedly one of the biggest things to ever happen to wrestling. While he may not be as synonymous as Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan was just so iconic with the character, the music, and everything, when you talk about wrestling, Ric Flair is wrestling. The guy was putting on 5-Star Classic when everyone was in diapers. He was putting on 5-Star Classics in his 50s. The man has earned his stripes. He earns the right to be proud. However, he's shameless and a self-promoter.
So. If I had to pick my top 5 wrestlers,
you're not going to like my top 4, Rushmore.
Probably not. But like if I had to pick it, and I haven't thought hard enough about it, but there is no doubt that Ric Flair would be in there. And the irony of this is that I didn't watch him growing up because I never watched WCW. I really only saw old Ric Flair. However, having going on numerous YouTube rabbit holes for the last, few months when I'm sitting at work and I've just got YouTube playing on in the background and it picks up a wrestling thread. Like I understand what Flair added to the business and everything. And like, you're not going to still be doing this. And you're not still going to be a draw if you weren't good at what you were doing. So
who are yours? I'm so curious.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like I'd really have to think about it and go back and forth as to who it is. Like, would it be, because it would either be from wrestlers from around like the very late 90s to early 2000s to or right now. So it would be a strange mix probably of someone like Bret Hart,
of course,
like, I'm not saying he's in there, but like Bryan Danielson, so that kind of generational spread. So
you're already a Canadian citizen. You don't have to put Bret Hart in there.
Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler growing up.
I know, I get it.
Or like whenever I would, Bret Hart's on. Oh, Bret Hart's on. So
yeah. So for me, everyone's like, you're nuts. Mine is, and it might change over the years, but like I'm pretty firm in it right now. Stone Cold Steve Austin, unquestionably. There's so many layers to him, so much nuance. There's Stunning Steve, the Hollywood Blondes, but Stone Cold himself, heel and regular, unarguably the biggest thing to ever happen to the wrestling business. But he still is part of the biggest.
Before you reveal your top 5, do you want to save this for another show? Because I feel like this is something we could really dive into.
Yeah, okay, but that's my preview. Stone Cold.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. No, right. We totally, like, I think preview is definitely something to do, but right. I don't know if I would have 5 ready to go right now.
That's okay. And so with the Flair thing, I just want to say, people, leave him alone, unless he starts stealing Sting's thunder, which he did not do on that promo at all. He very much gave his flowers. I mean, if he wasn't like, woo, and I was the man, and woo, and you were there, like, and taking his shine, I would agree he's not done that.
No, so let him. Every time he's gone into a woo fest, he's made sure Sting is doing it at the same time. Like, I think the promo he's like, come on, let's give him one. And so they're both going at the same time. So
I just want him and Jay Lethal to do it one more time.
Yeah.
One more freaking time. It's so amazing. But yeah, so I mean, that's my thoughts. Max, I don't think, Matthew thinks Max is going to WWE. After Punk being signed, after Randy returning, with Sasha pretty much impending at this point, I don't think MJF is going. And I'd have to say, Tony Khan will win stupid CEO of the decade if he lets one more person, and especially the caliber of MJF, go. They're the Titanic if they let him go.
Yeah, I understand his comments though, in terms of what's left for MJF to do in AEW, but he's never been the underdog babyface trying to get back a championship. So there's there's still stuff to do. And I mean, look at
He's
Bryan
also
Danielson,
27.
right? Like
He's going to go to WWE eventually.
Oh,
but I would say
he will
30.
go there eventually. Yeah, and just as I think that there's wrestlers in WWE that are there for life. Like, I don't imagine Seth Rollins ever going anywhere.
Hey, we didn't think Edge would.
No, exactly. But that's what I mean. Like, there's always going to be something like that. I think at the end of the day, what matters is that they have two
viable
alternatives to each other. Like, you can go from one to the other every few years if you really want to, and ultimately that's not a bad thing for fans. And I think the fact that so far, bar a few incidences here and there, for the most part, if you look at the scheduling, AEW is on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
WWE has Monday and Friday.
Friday, and Tuesday if you count NXT.
Right. So got Monday, Tuesday, Friday. AEW has they have Rampage on Friday.
Yeah, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and the show that competes with SmackDown is Rampage, which is never designed to be a big show.
It gives you wrestling almost every night of the week for the wrestling fan, and it's great.
Yeah.
The only thing is, and it sounds like I bash on AEW a lot lately. I don't. I love AEW. I've been to I've been to multiple shows. I've been a supporter of them since day one, especially when Jericho signed on. That was what put me like, this is going to happen. I am a very big supporter. What I am right now is disappointed. And like, if I got the pen and paper from AEW tomorrow, if I got the golden pen, I'd make some changes. Like, my changes would be, number one, I'd go right back to quarterly pay-per-views. Or at least I'd go quarterly pay-per-view with Forbidden Door in the middle of the year. So you get 5 pay-per-views as a year. You build more rich storylines, longer term, and you're the alternative to WWE's PLE every month. I think that they are killing themselves with their pay-per-views every month right now. I think the model sucks. And
that's just like I think monthly pay-per-views are too much.
It's too much for a WWE fan.
Yeah, I think you tend to rush it. Now, once a quarter, I think would be fine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, like every 3 months,
once a quarter,
even every 2 months, 2.5 months. Totally.
Yeah, and Forbidden Door is in the middle. It's like that yearly show that can float around between, let's say June, July.
Yeah,
but it's there.
I would also position Forbidden Door very much as a AEW versus NJPW talent, and if they want to, if TNA wanted to open their door as well, so you have some talent from there come in, but you have, like, you don't put any belts on the line.
Interesting.
Other than the Triple Crown belt or the Continental title, because that's the whole point of it.
Right.
So that you can have things like MJF versus the Rainmaker, and you don't know who's going to win, right? If there's no belts on the line, then you've got the storytelling of either one of these men could win. This is a pay-per-view for the fans to see matches like Okada versus MJF. Like, you've got, I feel like it would be Danielson versus Okada based on the history.
I think you're getting Okada in the Rumble.
Potentially, but like, you know what I mean? Like, you could have Ospreay versus someone else, Jay White versus someone. You can have these dream matches between the promotions.
Agreed.
And you could do it in a way that, hey, it's a pay-per-view that is effectively irrelevant in terms of the matches, in terms of the results. You could do a bit of story, bit of continuation on it, but for the most part, it's just dream matches of people that you would never normally see.
Right, exactly.
And if you really wanted to make,
excuse me,
like, it's called Forbidden Door. Could you imagine if you had, hey,
WWE,
right? Like, if Triple H opened, hey, for one night only, the Forbidden Door is open, you can have Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay.
Exactly. Oh my God, that would break the internet.
Right? Like, you'd have to have the agreement of, we all split the profits evenly. Like, we put in even amounts of work. I feel that WWE, because of the talent they would be able to push forward, would inevitably make a bit more from it. And I think
Triple H is the only person that would be open to that. I think he's a very much a different dynamic than Vince McMahon.
Agreed.
Where Vince McMahon is a axe to grind, never say never. Triple H is, if it's truly good for business, fuck it, I'll swallow my pride and I'll do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Could you imagine, like Seth Rollins, Will Ospreay?
Oh my God!
Right. I mean, if he came back, MJF versus The Rock.
Oh my God, that would be just I'm telling you, you break the internet. It would basically be people making modded characters on N64, like going.
You could charge twice the amount of a normal pay-per-view, right? You could have WWE moving away from a PLE, like they don't show it on the WWE network. You've got to pay for it separately.
For one event.
Yeah. Anyway,
you're on to something. So I was trying to veer us to the video games with the N64 reference.
So
I'm interested. What is it?
So I picked up the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, and I have been hearing so many people rag on the fact that it's not well presented, it's not well done, it's not, it's missing bits and pieces, or the graphics aren't great, etc. I fucking love it.
Is it Solid Snake is the character in that game?
So the Master Collection has Metal Gear Solid from the PlayStation 1. It has Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3. So the 3 PS1, PS2 games, plus also the games from the NES. I think. So like the really first two. The graphics for the PlayStation 1 are exactly what you would expect them to be. It's a PlayStation game, right? Like you're not going to see anything spectacular. They didn't reuse Twin Snakes. So everything is exactly as awkward as it was. I didn't recall Metal Gear Solid being as hard as it was purely because of the controls. The camera sucks. And I absolutely hate the fact that the circle button is the, yes, confirm, and X is no. Because after I beat it for the first time, I said, do you want to save? And I hit X out of reflex, and it said no.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit. So I've now got to go back through and finish 3 hours of gameplay because I didn't save. I saved after, I think, the torture scene, and that was it. Like, I just hadn't saved.
Damn.
So I'm like, oh, well, whatever. Like, I played it on normal for the first time. Like, normally whenever I play Metal Gear because I was a kid, I was like, I'm just playing it on easy. I'd rather have a good time. Like, I'm never going to get the platinum for that, because to do that, you've got to play it on hard and extreme and get the hardest possible rating. That's not going to happen.
Now, speaking of games, did you beat Spider-Man?
Yes,
too.
I did. Yeah, I ended up with a platinum trophy in that.
I am 3% into the fucking. It's amazing. I'm gonna play some of it today, actually, because of the car being shit, and I was supposed to. But 3%, like, I gotta get on the ball.
That's pretty dire, man. Like,
it's bad.
I'm kind of embarrassed for you.
I thought it was gonna be like, I'm at like 22% when I checked it. I'm like 3%. Damn.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful game.
It's so much fun. I regret doing everything. So by the time I'd finished the story, I had no side missions left.
Wow.
Like I was just doing them as I came across them. So it's I'll go over here and grab this. I found everything I could find before the final boss battle, pretty much, apart from like a couple collectibles. And after, I was like, man, I really should have saved some of that for the end. So I would almost recommend doing the story first and then going to the side missions, because it gives you something to do after the game is done. Because there's no DLC or New Game Plus yet, right? So it's very much the game isn't. It's coming, I'm sure, but it's once you're done, you're done. Yeah.
So, I don't have anything more to add for the video games other than
it wasn't going to be a very in-depth discussion.
But I think remastered is exactly that. You're not going to get PS5 graphics, but you're going to get something that looks better presentation-wise than you had in your hand back then. It's remastered.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think it's actually as
translation.
Yeah, I think it's a 1-for-1. I'm not mad at it. Now,
Right.
Metal Gear 2, I just started that last night. That looks a bit better than I remember it being. Like I think that's from the HD collection, so I think it's outputting at 720p. So it does look better than it did. Yeah, like I'm not seeing any issues with that, but it's definitely not like the Metal Gear. God, what is it? What was it?
Worse stuff.
Was Phantom Pain. It's definitely not the Phantom Pain, right? Like it's so I'm enjoying it. I think it's fantastic.
Good.
But yeah, definitely not as good as not as pretty looking as some of the more modern games.
Yeah. So like for me, there's no video game on the horizon right now. I mean, I'm at Spider-Man 2. I think I have my plate full. But like, there's nothing other than, I keep toying with the idea of getting a Switch and getting Breath of the Wild, but I know it will be, I'll get the Switch, I'll play it for like 2 days, and then I'll be like, oh, I haven't played Spider-Man 2, so it's going to suffer, and that's a pretty hefty tag to pay. But when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, yes, I'll grab that because it's a mindless drive around sandbox. I don't have to do the campaign if I don't want to, and just fun to like blow off some steam and run over people and get the police after you and the National Guard. It's fun. But I figure we can close if you're ready to close. I mean,
for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
This is one of those things where we could probably just keep going, but I think we are
for another hour easily.
Yeah, we're clocking up on that, and I know you probably don't want to sit in your car much longer.
I don't mind it. I'm outside Walmart, because it's right near the Dunkin' Donuts, and that's what my segue is. So I had a friend. I was lucky enough. I got the Toby No Way Home figure. I haven't opened him yet. I got him yesterday. He's freaking fantastic, man. These No Way Home figures on card are so pretty that you almost literally just like Wolverine, you don't want to open it.
Yeah.
But I thought I got the SH Figuarts. Like, there's no way, nothing's going to compare to it. It's not even close, blah, blah, blah. Oh, very much. It really, Marvel is, it's so funny with the budgets. Like, MCU, they clearly get the budget and they put their effort because these figures are so good. I don't have the Andrew yet, but just look at the Andrew face sculpt on anyone's post. Like, good God, other than Hot Toys, that's Andrew Garfield. It's just so nailed. It's beautiful. And all the early reviews and reports of the Green Goblin, the Defoe Green Goblin, are incredible too. Obviously, we're waiting for the Molina Doc Ock, but, salty because of those arms on the animated one and, just the Doc Ock itself. You actually kept me from buying that pack, and I thank you because
you're welcome.
I don't want to risk it. But I'm excited for these. They're really, really good. But next year is your year. It's Wolverine's anniversary.
My wallet's gonna hurt so bad.
Dude, have you heard all of like the potentials?
I've seen a few rumors and leaks, but I'm trying to stay away from it because I know the more I see them, I'm like, oh, I'll get that, I'll get that, I'll get that, I'll get that. So
well, they added another 5-pack, but they haven't said who's in it. And they said it's a much better 5-pack than what, previously.
That's not hard.
Yeah, no shit. They've added, basically, I think we're going to get Eric the Red in a 2-pack with Wolverine, which I'm fine with. Because we need an Eric the Red.
We need an Eric the Red. I'm happy with it because unless it's a costume that I don't have, I don't need to get it.
I need the what is it? Agent X Wolverine.
Yeah.
Badly with Creed and Maverick. You need all three.
Yeah, if that comes out as a 3-pack, I'm buying that immediately.
The other one I want, I think it's just probably me. I have such a love for the old Space Shi'ar Wolverine from the Toy Biz era.
Is that the one with the golden helmet?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, I literally have that in my hand right now.
I love it. I adore that figure. I sent you. Didn't I give you one of those loose?
Yeah, I think that's the one I have in my hand.
But it didn't have the helmet. It had everything but the helmet, I believe. So you must have got one off.
No, I don't think I I think this is the one you got me.
Oh, then I had the helmet. Kudos to me.
The helmet because I'd never seen this figure before. I'm pretty sure this is the one that you got me.
Yeah, because I remember I tucked a Wolverine in there. You know.
Yeah.
So I want a Marvel Legends of that. I really, really, really do. I just, for some weird reason, I know it's stupid Wolverine in space, but I just fucking love that suit on him. It just, I don't know. It's very toyetic. It's very cool.
Yeah,
I'm hoping they make that. And, you know, we already know we're getting Lilandra. They dropped that, which is fine. I think there's so much potential. You got, you know, Eric the Red. You've got an Ogun Wolverine versus Wolverine you could do. I would love a 2-pack redo of Wolverine versus Cyber, but like proper Cyber. Like put some effort in. You know? And then, of course, the number one that I want so bad, I don't care if it's a 2-pack or 5-pack or whatever, I want a proper, bulky, fur collar Jim Lee Sabretooth with Wolverine. So I don't care what mishmash of Wolverine I need to get that figure. That is probably my number one. We need that Sabretooth.
Yeah,
badly.
like that Sabretooth. Like I think when I was thinking about my wish lists for Legends at this point, what it is now, it's like, oh, I want this specific costume, right? Like I'm at the I want this costume stage of things as opposed to
almost everything.
Yeah, like there's nothing more that I can think of that I actively need.
I was gonna say that, so let's end on that. Do you want to do our wish list again? Our wave that we haven't done that in a long time. We'll bring that back for the end of the year.
I think we should, and I think it's funny that we're at the point now. It's like, well, there's not much left that either one of us really need or want.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what there would be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It won't be scraping the barrel, but it will probably be, you know, I want so and so in this costume.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, like you said, I don't think we're going to be barrel scraping, but I think what we're going to be doing is getting to the real nitty gritty of, oh, I like this costume. I want this costume. Like, I don't think there's going to be anything much more that you can do. Like, it's very much going to be a,
let's do a caveat where we both use Kane. Clone Saga Kane is our honorable mention.
Yeah, let's just accept the fact that Clone Saga Kane is going to be number one for both of us, and then just not include him because
exactly because it's on every list every time. Let's just say, okay, he's our guy in the middle. Now let's create a new list. We don't have to do a bath, but we can. I always liked the concept of doing a wave with a bath and then a deluxe and a 2-pack or whatever. I always thought that was fun. So let's do that.
I agree. All right, so that's going to be next week.
Yeah.
All right.
I got nothing else, but this was awesome.
Yeah, no, I got nothing else either. I've got to find where the Skype window went so I can make sure I hit stop recording in time. All right. Yeah. I have nothing else, folks. You know where to find us. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.